Houston Whitehead, a.k.a. Ginger Ale. And Chris Rush, a.k.a. Alex Clark.
Multiple shots fired.
Tap, 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 tap. Ho!
Hello world, welcome to episode 16 of Tap and Sack, or Sweet 16 as Chris likes to call it. I am Ginger Ale here with Chris Rush.
Hello.
And Alex Clark.
What's up? What's up?
And we decided to take a different route for this this cast and pull some people on through Skype and some fans that wanted to ask questions or bring up topics to us. So what we're going to do this episode is cue some people in and to ask some questions, and we'll just start some discussions about 15 and 20 minutes a person, and see if we can just cover a broad set of topics and give back to the fans, talk about what you want us to talk about. Have a good time, yeah. So this is a very, very lax episode, but yeah, let's add some people in.
Bring them in.
So we got Michael Brown here. Michael Brown, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
No problem. What's on your mind? What's your question?
Well, I know that y'all have done an episode before on sideboarding slightly a little bit, but I was kind of curious how exactly you decide when, do you put together a sideboard before you put a deck, or do you actually, think of it afterwards? I don't know.
How to construct a sideboard.
Play testing with it or something against other people. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Usually that's how I do it. I'll put in some general cards. I'm playing Bant right now, and I just throw in Thalias or just catch all things like O-rings, and then I'll go play the meta.
Shit, Chris, that's how you make your decks. Just throw cards together.
True. That is true. But for the sideboard, that's just I'll go play our meta. Like out in Maryville, they play stupid decks like Jund and Rakdos a lot. So then I just alter it over to wherever I'm going, basically.
So you just tilt toward your meta?
Yeah, I want to fucking win.
Alex, you want to go?
Yeah, typically when I build a deck, as I'm building it, I think, okay, I probably don't need 4 of the Tension Sphere in case I run up against Red Deck wins and something stupid happens, or, you know what I mean? I'll build the deck knowing I'm going to have something in the sideboard to answer. Whether or not I'm going to need that answer comes from playtesting. I don't like to playtest without sideboard. I've come to realize as I've been playing more and more. Because
back that up.
The sideboard's always evolving for me. It's never the same.
Yeah.
For instance, I just took 2 cards out of my sideboard and put them into the main board and just took out cards that I'm thinking are going to rotate out of my deck altogether, but I need to play test with them in the sideboard, if that helps any.
Yeah, that does.
That's another thing. If it starts out in the main deck and if you're constantly sideboarding it in, sideboarding
Sideboarding out.
Yeah. Try putting it in the sideboard and keeping some of those cards, like an average of the most popular card, in the main board.
Okay.
If you're always for me, what it was I always needed another Dissipate and I always needed another Snapcaster, and Niv Mizzet was slowing me down, so I took those 2 out and put those 2 in and left them there. And I've had some pretty good success, and I'm just looking for new cards to replace Niv Mizzet right now. That's an example of what I was talking about.
Okay.
Well, that sounds like you're just tuning your deck then.
Tuning your deck and sideboard kind of are the same thing. Your sideboard is your tune to your deck against the meta.
Yeah. Well, the meta, it should be ever changing as long as we don't get into a Delver meta where everyone's playing the same, a rock paper scissors deck. This one beats this one beats this one, and this one beats this one. When we don't have that, it's good that your deck is changing. It's good that your sideboard could be changing every tournament. It's not a bad thing. It doesn't make you a bad deck builder. It just means you're adjusting, which sometimes you'll adjust correctly and sometimes you'll adjust not correctly, and you'll get fucked. That happens. In the butthole.
Exactly.
I completely build my 60 cards first. And then I look at what I think the deck is weak to. And then I try to find those solutions, and I put those in the sideboard. Also, keeping in mind that that has, like, synergy with the deck, of course. Like, I don't know, say I built Grixis, and for some dumb reason Dreadbore's not in the main, which of course it is. But say I build it, and, like, my current 60 has a problem with Planeswalkers. So I say, hey, I like the way this 60 is built. I'm going to put Dreadbore's in the side for when I get into a matchup where I need it against Planeswalkers. And then, so I start there at finding the weaknesses and then finding the cards that can give me the edge or help me overcome those. And also keep in mind, like, if you're an aggro deck, you may need cards for a control deck or something that's better against, like, say you're playing a control deck and you're aggro, you're zombies or something, and you know that they're going to sweep you a lot. So you may side in some big dudes like Rakdos or Desecration Demon to have a bomb after they sweep instead of playing like little tutus. So also putting cards in your sideboard that help you against certain types of decks is also something to keep in mind. So I guess, alright, weaknesses with your deck, strength against different types of decks. Don't put too many reactive cards.
Yeah.
Like, a reactive card is like something that only has artifact removal or something. Like, don't side out like synergistic stuff with your deck to put, 6 answers that are only answers for certain things. It's easy to, like, say someone killed you with a batter skull in the last rotation or whatever, and you're like, oh god, I died to that card. Well, some people will side in like 3 artifact destruction cards, and you don't need that, especially when you think they may only be running 1. So sometimes only signing in 1, maybe 2, is fine, because otherwise that card's going to be dead. So I guess that's more of a tip of how to sideboard, not building a sideboard.
I mean, that still helps. That kind of leads me to, like, a question of, well, everybody always says, I don't ever end up seeing any of my sideboard cards. How do you decide how many to put in if you always have that issue? I mean...
well, I mean, there are going to be some games where you're just going to you're not going to see them, and that's fine, but to have them in your deck and to know that, like, all you need to do is draw that card, giving yourself a chance to draw it and putting it in the deck.
Okay.
Helps a lot. You got to keep in mind there's 60 cards. Like, you're not always going to draw the card you need, but you have to always have the hope or the chance that you can draw that card. So that's why it's going to be in there. But, like, if you saturate your deck with answers, then you don't get to play. You just react to everything they do.
That's fair.
And you kill all their stuff, or you answer all their stuff until you run out of cards in your hand, and then they can play a 1/1 and beat you to death with it.
Okay.
The way is a fun strategy if you're ever just looking to piss someone off and you know you're going to win. Just sideboard your whole sideboard that's, like, against them in, and just be annoying. And that sometimes can affect the meta, because, like, if someone's like, wow, he's going to do that just to be a dick because I'm running a bullshit deck, sometimes that happens, especially around Maryville, people are assholes. I'll just go build an entire deck to hate on their deck.
Yeah.
Exclusively.
I know how that fucking is.
And,
Modern.
well, I mean, run mono red for 8 weeks in a row. I don't
I kept winning. Why would I change my deck?
things like that. Just another thing to think about. Like, you also control the metagame as
an asshole. That's how
as an asshole, as well as a player. Although I will say this: the most impressive metagame manipulation I've ever seen in my life goes to Tom Manuel, who was running Grixis, and it was when Spreading Seas was such a popular card, which turns your land into an island. He ran one island because everyone was turning his stuff into, a blue land. He didn't need the blue land. That makes sense?
Yeah.
It was pretty impressive. We all laughed at it really hard.
Yeah,
That seems bad.
sure.
He won that tournament, but yeah, seems bad.
He got
Suck it, Chris.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yes, I will.
Well, I want you to play Mono
Modern.
Red with one mountain.
Okay.
Anyway, Michael Brown, you got any scumbag stories, anything real quick?
I mean, not really.
Oh, my God.
I'm sorry. I mean, scumbag stories, like, after I leave the shop, I'm pretty good about putting stuff behind me really fast.
Mm.
Like, I don't like to hold a grudge, personally.
That's pretty gay.
I know, I'm sorry. It's dumb, but it's the truth. I don't
And when I leave the shop, I just want to put something behind me. Michael Brown.
You know who never
Quote-
has scumbag
quote you.
stories? Scumbags. So I'm just going to assume Michael Brown
You're a
is
scumbag.
a scumbag.
I'm the nicest guy ever. Everybody's behind him shaking his head. Nope.
I mean, I'll try to be.
Mm.
I'll
Fair
miss
enough.
the trigger on accident before, but I mean, it's not. It's not intentional. I just don't play
Miss
the game.
their
right.
trigger or miss your trigger?
Huh? Miss their
Miss your trigger?
Remember
Oh.
when 2 weeks ago when Jonathan was running your zombie deck?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Blood Artist
Yeah.
missed all of my my creatures dying. I completely didn't
Yep.
shit.
Well, that's fine. Johnny needs to fucking learn how to run the deck since he runs it every week. I don't care. I don't care. That's what he says every time. Move the card, Johnny.
I
don't
still
care.
think my favorite play of his was when he sacked his Falconwrath to his Falconwrath to keep it alive, even though he could have gotten in for 4.
Yeah. So this is so funny. Every time he went to kill his Falconwrath, he had 2. So he tried to kill one, and he sacked the other one to keep that one alive.
Because he drew straight into a playset of Falconwrath somehow.
Somehow.
He did that last Friday too, but he didn't have a 4th land, so he just had a playset of pretty Falconwraths in his hand.
What do you mean?
But-
Somehow he drew into those. That sounds
I'm-
like a scumbag story right there. He somehow taught.
Man, you are digging,
Okay,
Chris.
he opened with a hand of 3 and 4 land, and then drew the 4th, like turn 3 or something like that. It was
Oh, okay.
nuts. So it wasn't like it was like
I thought you meant he like played one and then sacrificed it, and somehow
No.
it was the next top card on his deck,
uh
and they just never went to the graveyard. One of those decks. That's how I play.
No, he started off with 3 and drew into the 4th. I was like, yeah, that
Fair enough.
happened.
Fair enough.
I mean, with
Well-
as much sacking he did to his own Falconwraths, it ended up working in my favor, so it was okay. I top forward, he didn't, so.
Suck it, Johnny. Anyway, that was good enough to end on. Man, thanks for calling in.
No
Good
problem.
feedback. I'll talk to you soon, man.
Yeah.
All right,
Thanks for
later.
the support. Fuck off.
All right, then, thanks.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that was a good question.
Shit. Who you going next? Jay?
X.
Let's see. I think I got Matt Frazier coming next.
Okay.
You
Hit him up.
Talk about something while I look for him.
Come on in, Frazier. I don't like calling him by the last name. I just want to think of the sitcom.
Frasier's.
The furniture you love.
Hey, Matt, are you here?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up?
What's going on, man?
Oh, not a whole lot. How are y'all doing?
Pretty good.
Pretty
We're
good.
recording our 16th episode. A little Sweet 16 party here. Going on.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, Chris is getting me a new car.
Yeah. Woo!
Oh,
You're invited because
Yeah.
you look good in a bikini, and that's the
It's
only.
gonna be a bug. That's what I wanted.
Well, what? Anyway, Matt, you got any topics? A little question? Anything for us?
I'm kind of liking standard right now. I think it's a good format.
Mm-hmm. Seems pretty fun.
Wow, it's the first time I've heard that said by anyone ever.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
Delver.
I think it's a lot better than it has been recently. The last 2 years, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Why do you think that is? Personal, specific reason to
I
why.
think right now we don't have a real oppressive blue-white deck.
Okay.
I think people
AKA
hate playing.
fuck Delver.
Well, and Callblade before it. I mean, you
Yeah,
just hate
yeah.
playing against those decks where they're powerless.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a lot more interaction. There's a lot more like realistic strategies, especially going big right now. I mean, Epic Experiments, Angel of Serenity. I mean, there's all kinds of crazy things you can be doing.
Grizzlebrand.
Yeah, Grizzlebrand. I love Grizzlebrand. I wish it was
Yeah.
actually playable, but
Oh, I'm trying it.
oh yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'm working on Grixis right now, man. It's
Yeah, I've played
it's
every
fun.
combination of control deck imaginable, and none of them seem to be good enough. But they're all like fine.
yeah. It seems like it's a lot easier to just lean toward white because white is just like Detention Sphere and like Terminus, and there's some
Supreme
Really?
Verdict.
Supreme Verdict. Well, I mean the best sweepers are there, but I don't know. I just want to make Grixis happen because no one in my area is really pushing toward it. I just kind of
And
want
you
to.
get to play Nicole
do
Bolas,
that.
which is, I mean,
Yeah,
you can't really go bigger than that.
yeah. I have him and 2
Hey.
Grizzlebrands in there, and Olivia. Like Olivia's awesome.
Yeah, like
Pretty good.
She's pretty much a Grizzlebrand, and she takes over actually a lot better than. Well, I don't know. It's according to what you draw off Grizzlebrand, but she can take over the game just by herself, and then you can just draw for 4 or 5 turns while they try to deal with your one vampire with a boner.
yeah, I think she's single-handedly the reason the Jund deck is a real deck.
Yep.
For sure. Absolutely.
So what's your big deck going on right now, Frazier?
I've been playing zombies to a lot of success.
Which kind of zombies?
Boo.
I've been
I'm
playing
assuming
black-green.
red black.
But
Oh,
the thing I've been doing is, like, everybody's trying to play these black-red decks, or even black-green as a super aggressive deck. And I've kind of made it a little more mid-rangey, and I think it competes against the Thragtusks a lot better.
Really?
Playing Vampire Nighthawk and Thragtusks of my own in the board. It makes it so that if they curve out like Centaur Healer and the Restoration Angel in the Thragtusk, I still have game. Granted, that's still tough to beat, but
Yeah.
I mean, rankering up a Nighthawk is pretty sick.
Yeah, that sounds badass, actually.
well, how do you deal with Angel of Serenity? 'Cause it seems like since you're elongating the
I play 2
layam out.
Severs in the main.
Okay.
I think it's the best piece of removal, and I'm also playing more lands. I'm playing 23 lands, which I know a lot of zombies lists are running 21, maybe 22.
Oh man, mine's 23.
Yeah, I think 23 just feels good. I can actually flashback Sever a fair amount of the time if the game goes along. And yeah, certainly, I mean, Angel triple Thragtusk, you're not going to win very many of those games, but
Yeah,
at least you can try.
for sure.
That's pretty sweet. Sever is, I think it is the best removal right now.
I mean, I've seen so many lists running like Deadweight, and I mean, I don't know. Crippling Blight's really good. I'm still running 4 of those, but
Right.
yeah, -1/-1 and can't block. That card's actually surprisingly insane. But
Yeah,
uh,
I've thought about trying it out
yeah,
in
it's-
my
it's
red black
the real
aggressive, but I'm running like the just the burn package with like 4 bumps and 4 Syrian Blaze, and I don't know if I have 2 or 3 Brimstone, probably 2. I don't remember. But yeah, it's the aggressive burn package. I need to win by turn 4. I gotta win before your Thragtusk comes out,
deal. Right.
or
And that's
or I gotta
the
win the
advantage
turn
to
it comes out.
Blight is, I can win after your Thragtusk comes out, especially if you only have 1.
Yeah,
And post-board, fighting it with Appetite for Brains, you
Yeah.
can actually play Magic against these decks instead of just being cold to like a single Thragtusk.
It's 4 or greater. Is that what that does? Or is it
Yes. Yeah,
Huh.
Exile 4 or greater. It's a very solid
what?
card.
It
as well.
exiles it?
yeah. Serenity can't get it.
I didn't even know that.
I'm liking the black-green a lot. I think that's what I'm leaning towards playing in Charleston right now.
Are you going to Charleston? I might be going
Yeah.
to Charleston. It's gonna be sweet.
Yeah, Charleston sounds like good times. So.
Are you running Deathrite Shaman in your list?
I'm running 2 in the board right now.
Mhm.
The card's all right, but I don't know. It just doesn't do enough. it's cool in Modern because you get lands too, but you never get lands in Standard, so...
Yeah, it doesn't ramp very often.
I mean, it's not like we can play Evolving Wilds in our zombie lists.
Hey, I'm running Evolving Wilds in my control deck, and
well, that's different though.
You just
he turned to Geralt Messenger me, and I was so mad. I was just mad.
That's actually hilarious.
Yeah, it is, but I was so mad.
I'm rooting for that guy.
It was John Dutcher. No, you're not rooting for him.
Oh, never mind. I'm rooting for you, Alex.
Yeah.
Oh, so he did your land? That's terrible. I'm pissed.
Yeah, I've been pretty mad too.
Well, that's cool. Is there is it just Geralf's? Is that the curve out at 4? What's your 4th land or drop? Is it just Thrakdos at 5, or do you even have?
I don't have a 4. I have Sever at 4. But yeah, I mean, Dragmangler, Dross Messenger, Lawless Troll, and the advantage to playing kind of more mid-rangey is that you don't have to throw Lawless Troll out there on turn 2 very often, and expose it to a Pillar of Flame or something like that.
Yeah.
So, I'm only running 8 1-drops. I'm running the 8 zombies. I don't like Cackler. It seems dead against everybody. I mean, except the truest of control decks. But a 2/2 just isn't very good right now. I mean, a 2/2 with no interaction that can't ever block.
Yeah.
I mean, I probably wouldn't play the other 8 1-drops if they weren't so synergetic with the rest of the deck.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Huh. I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Back to my Grixis deck. I'm trying to decide on my removal, my sweeper package. Deciding between, like, Mizium Mortars. Like, I have one Bonfire, which I guess is fine, but
Bonfire seems pretty bad in the control deck. I think I'd rather have, like, Rolling Tumbler and Mortars.
I really like Mortar. Well, I haven't got the playtest yet at all, so I guess this is just me talking with my deck on paper. But, I mean, it is together. But also, I was looking at Psychonic Rift, too. But I'm kind of scared that that's going to screw me up really bad against green and white decks, just letting them gain their life back.
No, I like Rift a lot. Like, it gives you more interaction in the early game. One of the problems a lot of these control decks, at least the ones that I built early on, had was, you know, they had a lot of really powerful late game effects, but they just couldn't ever seem to get there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Mizium Mortars can interact early as well.
Yeah, Mortars is great. I mean, I would probably play 3 or 4 Mortars.
Yeah, I'm looking at 3 Mortars right now, but like I have Rift in the side just because I don't want it. I don't want it out of my 75. And I think I may live the dream and put a couple Rakdos Returns in the side just for control matchups.
Oh no, Rakdos Returns is great. I mean, I would play 1 or 2 in the main. I would at least play 1 in the main.
Really?
Yeah, I mean...
Well, the Dream's the Rift and Rakdos Return, of course, but...
Sure, but... whatever, that's just being greedy.
I am being greedy. I mean, no, that's not the full reason they're in there. I'm just keeping these cards around because they're just so powerful, and it's really hard to choose which powerful cards.
Yeah, I mean, even if you just do it on turn 5 for 3 cards and untap and, turn 6 Mortars them, they have no board and no hand.
Yeah. And then, I mean, there's Bombs, Grizzlebrand, and there's Olivia, and there's, of course, Nicobolas, and Tameo, and
Jace.
Niv Mizzet. Like, no, I'm just talking mainly finishers. I consider Tameo a finisher. I don't have any Jaces.
Oh, you should be playing Jaces.
I'm not trading $50 for this.
Dude,
but,
I don't think I would play a control deck right now without Jace.
I'm going to have to borrow some Jaces and try them out and see how they are.
Yeah, just always factor fiction.
Jace?
I haven't got to play with him yet. But I'm still not completely convinced that I like him.
Today I killed Jace on purpose, like 2 times in a row, just so I could factor fix him twice and win quicker.
Yeah, that's all I do.
Really?
Well,
I almost never factor fiction with that card. It's almost just always better to be, like, +1-ing it.
Really?
I mean, it's the aggro deck. Sure, against control decks, it's great. Factor fiction all day, but...
I've never been in a situation where I wanted to roll it up.
Really?
Dead serious.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah, I haven't either.
I think that's better than the Fact or Fiction.
Like in Bant, I'm usually just far seeking. So like turn 3, I usually either Doge or Detention Sphere and get rid of their aggro, and then turn from like Jace, Fact or Fiction, play another Jace, Fact or Fiction. Like it just gets ridiculous.
Sure. I mean, I guess I don't play those matchups like that.
Today I took over.
People are always attacking me.
Oh, I'll try and clear the board first, but I need to use my
obviously.
answers anyway.
I'm still not convinced it's I'm still not on the Jace train. Like, I still just think he's okay. He's not phenomenal. But what really makes me want to play him is the fact that there's some sets of 3 cards that just can't be separated into 2 piles. Like, it's really hard. But at the same time, there's some people that can't set piles at all.
Oh, yeah.
They can't.
I mean,
They can't put the best card in one pile and then the 2 mediocres in the other. There's so many people. Of course, I'm even playing at an F&M level, but still, like, there's people that just don't know how to separate the piles. Sometimes you get way more of an advantage than you're supposed to.
It's awesome.
Houston, just what I flipped over one time today was Supreme Verdict, Terminus, and Tameo in one flip. And the guy was like, just what do you want? You can have one of them. And I was like, okay, I'm taking Tameo. Because I had the other 2 in my hand. It's just stupid.
I feel like I could just write, like, an 18-page paper on picking piles, like, or dividing the piles. There's just so much
Somebody should.
you got to think about.
Because when I Fact or Fiction myself, I can't. Like, I don't know how I'd separate those. I'd be like, I'm fucked either way. Like, there's no good answer to this. Ever.
It's rough. I mean, why it would take that much, like, time and paper is because, like, the board, you have to take account, like, every part of the board state. What will hurt me less?
I mean, Houston, think about it like this. If you flip over 3 lands, you're digging through 3 lands that you're going to draw. You're going to get 1 or 2 of them. Well, you're going to get 2 of them. And then you're going to draw a next card next turn that's not going to be a land like you would have originally. The card's ridiculous. It just is.
Yeah, it's really good. We all thought it was going to be terrible.
It's the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
So how many should I try in this Grixis deck? Like 3, 2?
4.
2.
I'd say
Minimum
4.
2.
Yeah.
4.
I'd go 4.
I have 2 Tameos.
Yeah, that's fine. 4 and 2.
Yeah.
That's usually what people are running.
That's too many bombs.
4 and 3, maybe. Tameo's insane.
4 and 3. I'm Grixis Walkers now.
How many Nicobolas are you running?
1.
There you go. Grixis Walkers. You're good to go.
God.
Throw Liliana in there for good times.
Yeah, dude.
She's in the sideboard. I mean, I have Nighthawk for Sigarda, but that's like my only answer to that. So I need to be able to sacrifice the things around Sigarda. She's really hard to deal with. I don't think people know that.
Sigarda?
Yeah, because like Phantasmal Image is gone. Like if they ramp her out on turn 3, like that's really hard to deal with. And
I mean,
Nighthawk's
clones
my
are
only
real
answer.
hard.
Well, it has to be now, right?
Yeah, I mean...
I also thought about putting those in the side.
It's pretty good.
I mean, I got the old school ones. They're all like 50 cents a piece. Some cool art. But anyway.
I guess. Well, all right, man. Well, you, Matt, thanks for calling in.
Yeah, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Awesome.
Picking our brains.
Yeah. You got any shout-out or
Anytime.
anything you want to throw down real quick?
No.
Or a scumbag story about Rich Dixon.
What?
No.
No?
No, don't want to. Hey, how's that baby coming along?
He's awesome.
Great. We find out tomorrow whether it's a boy or girl.
Ah, awesome.
Boy,
Put it in the oven.
Ginger.
Oh, God. Let's hope not. No ginger. I don't know. Is your wife redhead?
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, no gingers. Just no.
No.
It can still happen.
We'll have
It can
problems
still happen.
if that's the case.
What? Losing respect. Losing respect. Jeez.
All right, man. Well, thanks again for coming on. It's good
Yeah,
talking to
absolutely.
you.
Thanks for having me anytime, guys.
Yeah. All right, buddy. We'll talk to you later.
All right, see ya.
Yeah. Awesome. Man.
Well, I guess that was less of a hit against me and more of a hit against cheating on him.
Yeah, probably.
I was taking it as a hit against me.
Unless
I'm
he
not
was
losing-
warning you, Houston.
I'm not losing a fan against
Houston, you've been around my
his
wife.
wife cheating
So
on him.
just that'd be hilarious if like it happened like that and he immediately came to you and it's like, listen, Ginger, I found out my little boy's a redhead. What the hell's going on?